All right, everybody, we are here for Strength 30. Now, in this workout, we're going to be doing a variety of different exercises using our resistance bands, both the 5-foot length therapy resistance bands as well as the loop resistance bands. Now, I have all of my various weights, so the lightest, medium, and the heaviest, going to use all of those. So you can always make this workout easier or harder depending on the amount of resistance that you're using. So be sure you experiment and find what's going to be best for you. Okay, so we'll be doing some down on the ground. We're going to stand up to do some. We're also going to do a couple body weight exercises. So a lot of great variety here. Let's go ahead and get started, and do have those 5-foot bands close by as you come down onto the ground. We're going to begin with the knees bent, hands on the belly, and close the eyes. Let's get our mind and body tuned in. Breath in, breath out, breath in, breath out. Letting go of any distractions, breath in, and breath out. Let the eyes open, reach your arms out away from the shoulders, straighten your left leg, lift your right foot off the ground with the knee bent, slow circles to warm up the hip. Keep your body from flopping around, so you're pushing the left leg and both arms down into the ground, making a full range of motion here. Reverse direction. Extend the foot straight up toward the ceiling. Pull the toes down, feel a little stretch there, and in slow motion, lower that leg down to the ground. And as soon as the leg touches, go to the other side. Left leg bends and into the hip circles, pushing your arms and your right leg down into the ground to hold yourself stationary. Reverse direction. Extend the foot up toward the ceiling, flex the foot, feel the stretch, and lower the leg all the way down. Point the toes forward, activate your leg muscles, squeeze your glutes, and reach your arms behind your head, full stretch. Bend up your knees, wrap the arms around the legs and squeeze in. Tuck your chin, lift your head and shoulders off the ground, bring your nose close to your knees. And release, feet onto the ground. All right, and grab one of your 5-foot bands. I'm gonna start with my heaviest one. You can do heavier or you can do medium. This first one, you loop the band around your foot. The left leg can be bent or straight, either way. Now you're going to anchor the elbows down into the ground, so get the anchors down, or the elbows down firmly into the ground as an anchor, and then you're going to extend the leg and slowly bring it in. Now you can immediately feel, if you need to increase the resistance, just walk your hands slightly up and then go again. Now don't let the hands move forward. The hands are going to tend to move with your leg to make it easier, but we don't want to make it easier. So keep your hands pulled back and try to extend completely through that leg. I definitely feel a lot of work here. Single leg exercises are so valuable, and we're going to do several of those here. So the number of repetitions is up to you. You want to go until you get a burn. And I'm going to do 5 more here. Make sure you're going slow going out and also slow going in. All right, fantastic. Now, without taking your foot out of the band, go ahead and just slip the other foot in, and then that makes it easy to switch legs, slipping the other foot back out. And now you're ready for the other side. Keep those elbows anchored into the ground, bend the knee, and begin your extension. Now, another cool thing about this exercise, as I'm sure you can already tell, is that we're actually using some upper body strength here. So you're forearms are having to hold your hands in position, not letting them come forward, and you can feel how much your forearms are working to hold your hands in place and not let them move forward. Remember to go slow coming back in. Don't let the band slingshot your leg back into place. And try to extend the leg as fully as you can. And again, you can always add a couple more if you feel like you need to. I'm going to do 5 more here. All right, fantastic. Release that band, and I'm going to go to the medium band here. Again, you can make the decision that's best for you. Now, the band's going to go around the foot again, and that leg lengthens out. Now, this time, the arms are extended out in front, and you kind of have to hook the toes over the band a little bit in order to make this work. The leg is going to be completely straight. The arms are straight up toward the ceiling, lower down, and lift up. And again, you want to really make sure your arms are holding still. And if you're not getting much movement here, it means your band is too heavy. If you can get your foot easily all the way to the ground, it means your band is too light. You're really controlling this. Now, this band is, I probably could have gone with the heavier band here, but this is okay. I'm still getting plenty of work. I'm just going to move my arms a little bit behind my head. And now I'm feeling quite a bit of work here in that hip. You focus on keeping your leg as straight as possible. 5 more. All right. And switch legs. Once again, I can feel the forearm muscles working, so you can relax the arms for just a second if you need to. And whenever you're ready, we go right into it. Other side. Get those arms nice and strong, and then press the straight leg forward. The knee is not bending, so lock out that knee and make the hip do the work. It would be a completely different exercise if you're bending the knee. So again, we're feeling the work in the forearms. You're working actually on your grip strength here. You're having to grip that band really tight in order to keep the band from coming forward. You can really feel that in the forearms as well as in the hip. As always, don't hesitate to change the band. And I'm going to get 5 more here. Very slow and methodical. We're never rushing. All right, fantastic. Release that band and grab your lightest band. This is a little different exercise here. We're definitely going to want the lighter band because we want some movement here. Heavier band, you're not going to be able to move very much. Slip the band around both feet and extend both feet up toward the ceiling. Now you can separate the feet a little bit. You're trying to have your legs as straight as you can. Once again, you're going to anchor the elbows down into the ground. So you're going to take some pressure off of the forearms here. Now, but you do want to have that band pretty well lengthened. I'm going to keep the legs straight and just open and close. Now, this is a relatively small movement. I'm only moving out maybe 6 or 8 inches. But if you're able to take a look up here for just a second, this is the area you're working, the outside of the hip right here. That's where you should be feeling that. Now, you could go to a heavier band, but I do want you to make sure that you're getting at least 6 or 8 inches of movement on each side. Now, the other thing, of course, is the number of repetitions. So it might not seem very hard at first, but if we do 20 of these, we're probably going to feel it pretty good. And I would say we're probably at about 10 here. So I'm going to do 10 more starting right now. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Definitely could feel that toward the end of those repetitions. All right, I'm going to stick with the lighter band. This is a kind of a funky exercise, this next one. The bands go around the feet again. Now this time, the knees are together, and once again, your elbows are anchored down into the ground. And you're going to get a very small movement here. So start with the knees and the feet together, and then open just the feet out and back in. The knees stay together, open the feet, and close. Now I'm only getting, gosh, maybe 3 or 4 inches on each side of movement. It's a fairly small movement, but it's fairly difficult to do. You're really working the outsides of the hips here. Let's keep going with this. See if you can get about 10 more. All right, go ahead and release that. Definitely felt some burn toward the end. My muscles got to where they got a little fatigued, a little shaky. I know that means I was working those muscles. All right, everybody, go ahead and come on up to upright position and grab your loop band. I would suggest probably your heaviest band here. We're going to be using some strong muscles here, so probably your heaviest or maybe a medium band will work fine. And then we're going to bring the loop resistance band all the way up above the knees. So right about that position there, and then we come into tabletop. So spread the knees far enough apart so the band is just a little bit stretched. And then we're simply going to do a clamshell exercise. So the knee lifts. I want you to move the knee back just a little. So notice here I've lifted the knee. I moved it back about 3 inches. I'm going to go out and in, out and in. So you're really stretching the band here. Kind of a challenging exercise. Can you get 5 more? Good, and release. Go to the other side. Lift the knee, move the knee about 3 inches back, and then out and in. Now notice with this exercise that your support leg is doing a lot of the work. So it isn't just about the leg you're moving. It's the leg that's supporting. And so if you're feeling some burn and some fatigue here, can you hang in there? This is so important to strengthen these muscles that are to the inside of the hips, the inner, deeper inner thigh muscles and hip muscles. Try to get 5 more if you can. Awesome. Go ahead and release down. Nice effort there. Shake the wrist out. And bring the hands back down. Now this next one is going to be a little bit easier just because you're using big, strong muscles and the band has a limited amount of stretch that it can do here. But it's still a good exercise. So let's see if we can get about 15 of these. You're going to take the right leg and just reach it back. Try to extend, squeeze the glute, and bring it in. You can bring the knee forward a little, extend it out, squeeze the glute, and bring it in. Now try to engage the glute completely as you swing the leg out. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Other side. Should definitely be feeling this in the glute. As you extend back, you're lengthening, squeeze the glute, and bring the knee in. If you don't extend the leg completely, you're not going to get that full contraction. Keep this going. I want this to feel like a really strong kick going back. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, definitely got a nice little burn there. We're going to do one more exercise from down on the ground. It is not using the band. You can keep that band there if you want, or you can take it off, doesn't matter. We're going to come into our tabletop position. Now, walk the knees back and shift your shoulders forward over the wrist. Now we're going to slow motion, lower the body down to the ground. Once the chest is landed, lift your chest off the ground and then push back into child's pose, hips all the way back. Come forward and repeat. So the shoulders come over the wrist, slow motion, descend down to the ground. Lift your chest and then push back, child's pose. Again, come forward and down. Lift the chest and push back. Now, if you're needing this to be harder, you can come forward and you can lift the knees off the ground and then lower down. Lift the chest, push back. So let's try to get 3 more. As you come forward, either knees down or knees up. And 2 more. And last one, best one. And release. All right, beautiful work, everybody. Let's go and come on up to standing. All right, excellent. We're going to come to a familiar exercise with our loop resistance band. So you can go to a harder or maybe a medium band, and it's this familiar stepping exercise. So go ahead and slip the band around the ankles and move the feet to about hip width apart. We're going to put a little flex in the knees, pull the belly in nice and tight, and start your steps. Now I immediately realized that I got too light of a band. So I'm going to quickly switch mine. You can just keep right on going. I'm just going to put a little more resistance into this, and you can always make the same adjustments if you need to. So this is a much better band for me. Now, if you're finding that this is really difficult for you and it's hard to pick the feet off the ground, you could do this with no band at all. But usually a light band for most people works okay. And then if you're a little stronger in the hips, you definitely want to get that medium band like I have here. We're picking the feet off the ground. I'm keeping my feet parallel to each other. In other words, I'm not turning the toes out. So here is typical, toes aimed out. Try to keep the feet parallel to each other as you make your steps. And let's take a brief rest. This is such a great exercise. Not the funnest, but it's so good. Let's do it one more time. Set the hips back slightly, pull that belly in, and begin your steps. So a lot of these exercises we're doing today is focusing on the deeper internal hip muscles. I have my hands right around the outsides of my hips. This is probably where you're feeling this. And these are very important muscles to maintain the integrity and the strength of your hips. All right, excellent. Go ahead and release that band, kick it aside, and go for one of your 5-foot bands, and I am going to use the medium band. And what we're going to do here, this is a little tricky to get into, but it's really worth it. So you're going to be next to a wall or a chair, so you're going to hold on to something. And what you're going to do is the band is going to go around the front of the knee of one leg, and then you step on the band, both ends of the band with the other leg. And I'm holding on. So this is a little tricky, I admit, but once you get into it, it works really well. So you're stepping on both ends of the band with one foot, and the middle of the band is looped just above the knee of the other leg, and you're holding on to the wall. And then once you have that, we're going to do a high knee exercise. So you're just going to go up and down. So you should feel quite a lot happening here. As I said, once you get it set up, it actually works really well. So right where I have my hand here is where I'm feeling those muscles working. And if you find you're having a little too much resistance with the particular band you're working, try to get 10. If it's not too difficult, then you could go all the way up to 20 repetitions. I've probably done about 10 here. I'm going to do 10 more. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and I got a really good burn there. Just what we're looking for. We're going to switch this out. You can still face the same direction. You're going to bring the band, the middle of the band around the other knee, and then you're going to step on both ends of the band with the opposite side foot. Once you've got that, nice and tall, and then begin the movement. Now notice that it seems really easy at first. And it's like, oh, I don't know if I have enough resistance. But then you get up to 15 or 20 or even 25 of these, and you really get that good burn of that muscle. Try to stay tall, belly pulled in. I can definitely feel some fatigue already. I'm going to see if I can get in 10 more here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And I can really, really feel that. Let's leave the band there for a second. We're going to come right back to it. Let's just walk out the feet just a little bit, maybe shake them out, move it around a little, and we're going to go right back to the same setup. Now, this time, the move is for the leg to go back. So you're going to step on it with one foot, and the band is going to loop around the foot of the other leg. So I'm stepping on it with one, and I've got it around the ankle. Actually, hold on here a second. The foot, that's what it is, it's the foot. I forget sometimes what that one is. So you're just going to bring it around the foot, and then you're curling back. So heel to bottom, curl the foot up. So once you figure out the setup, this actually works really well. I'm leaned forward a little. The band is around the foot. It seems to be staying there pretty well. Heel to bottom. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Now you can really feel just how much that hamstring is working there. We're going to switch it out. The band will go around the other foot, and then you're stepping on the ends of the band with the opposite foot. Get that good hook, foot around the band, and begin curling. Try to get your heel to come up to the bottom as best as you can. If it's too much, try to step a little further toward the end of the band. That'll give you a little more slack. to be able to do the exercise. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. All right, we can leave that band there. And what we just worked on were the hip flexors, the front of the leg, and the back of the leg, the hamstrings. Such important muscles to keep strong. That's a very important exercise. So let's bring the feet a little wider than the hips. Reach the arms up. Open the arms out to the sides. Pull the belly in, look up. Bring the arms in. Lower your elbows down toward the ground. Rise back up, open out. Bring it in. Open out. Bring it in. And then reach the arms behind the back. Interlace the fingers. Look up toward the ceiling. Lower down, forward fold. You can rest the hands on the tailbone or move the hands off of the tailbone. And rise back up. Release the hands up. Side bend. And side bend. Back to center. Lower the arms halfway down. Twist to the right. Look to the back hand. Twist to the left. Look to the back hand. Back to center. Bring the hands behind the head, interlacing the fingers. Press the elbows back. Look up. And then lower down. Drop the elbows toward the floor. And then push back up. Open the elbows out. Twist to the right. Twist to the left. Back to center and release the hands down. Awesome job, everybody. We are all done. We got a lot of good work done today with those bands. Good strength work, stabilizing the hips, good work for the legs, the hamstrings, and we did a nice little stretch sequence at the end. All right, I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Take care and bye for now. All right, well, I would love to hear what you thought of that workout. Make a comment below. Let me know if you found this to be effective, too easy, too hard. Remember, the bands are always a variable. You can always make the exercises harder or easier depending on how much of the band you're using. And I will say that there are a couple of those exercises that do take a little bit of patience to learn how to position the bands. It takes a little bit of practice, but once you get onto it, the bands are really, really useful. Okay, so let me know in the comments below what you thought of this, and do remember the StayAhead membership, where we have all kinds of workouts for strength, flexibility, balance, for falls prevention. We even have cardio workouts, and it's all organized, ad-free, and curated, very simple, very easy to find your way through, and you can also download the workouts. So if you would like to do a 7-day free trial, there's a link below, and I'd love to have you join us in the community, and let me know if you have any questions about the membership in the comments. All right, take care, and I'll see you in the next video.